Amsterdam Kitchen. Join us live on Saturday mornings
from 10 till 12
on Broadcast Amsterdam.
Or catch up later.
It's all online.
Yeah, good morning, Gilly. Good morning, Amsterdam.
Good morning, Amsterdam. Good morning, Kathy.
Yes. Welcome to the Amsterdam Kitchen. What have we got on the show today, Gilly?
Well, we've got some fantastic guests. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. I've gone straight in. I'm no build up. but no, we've got some great guests from an organisation called Farmsterdammers. It's Edu and Rafa, and we'll meet them shortly, but they're going to tell us all about growing your own, basically. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. In Amsterdam, Rafa, Ramos and Edward Hernández. So let's tell you about them before we bring them in. You'll find out more as well. So Edward, he's part of several initiatives in Amsterdam. He comes from the Catalan countryside, from a small farm family background.
That sounds lovely.
Yes, Edu studied environmental science in Barcelona and has been involved for a long time in community urban gardens and local activist grassroots movements. So Edu moved to Amsterdam 3 years ago and has been working on different projects such as Greenpeace International and the Notville Organic Farm. I haven't heard of that one.
No, I'm going to ask him, what is that exactly?
Yes.
Sounds good.
And currently he's combining work at the Pluk CSR, which we talked about with Joyce last week a bit, community garden initiative in West, I think.
Yes.
And combining that with a part-time position at the A-Seed organisation, which I have heard of. So we may also talk about those things later on the show. So he's got a role campaigning against industrial agriculture.
Well, now, that's a contentious issue, I think, isn't it?
We might get political today. I don't know. Or activist, that's great. And then more about Rafa, who's coming on. Rafa Ramos, he's originally from Cordoba, Andalusia, and living in Amsterdam since 2015. Working several years with the communication team of Friends of the Earth International, and has just set himself up as a freelance web designer. You can see an example of that on the farmsterdammers.com or .nl website. That's great. Focusing on ethical and sustainable initiatives. So Rafa's been practicing urban gardening during the last 15 years and considers himself a long life learner and loves playing music. That's great.
Yes.
And experimenting in the kitchen.
Broadcast Amsterdam.
And welcome to Rafa and Edu.
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
From the Farmsterdammer group. Now, I have first heard of it because you organised an event in May. Could you tell us a bit about what that event was?
On 16 May, actually, we organised an event where people were asked to please share seedlings with others. So that, our aim was that more people could start growing their own vegetable gardens at home. No? Didn't matter if you have a little space or more space, but yeah.
Cool. Yeah, fantastic. And so did you get a good response to the event? And how did you go about promoting it?
I think it was pretty amazing, the response from people. Yeah, it was like Rafa did an amazing work creating this map in which there people can choose the places where they want to share seeds and seedlings. So it was kind of also collectively decision. It was not imposed from anyone from the Farmsterdammers. And then there were more than 20 different checkpoints.
Yeah, I think it was 18 in the end.
18 checkpoints in different, distributed in the city of Amsterdam. And then, a lot of people, we'd say around 40, 50 people for each point.
Wow.
Exchanging seeds and seedlings and knowledge. It was
that is
pretty amazing.
Fantastic response. Yes, yeah. So the people that were distributing the seeds, how did they first get involved?
Well, actually, this somehow we started thinking at home when we were preparing the seedlings for this year garden at home. Well, for a few years we have already shared with others, with neighbors, family, friends. But we thought that for this year it would be nice to encourage others, So at home, me and my partner Celia started contacting others, saying some friends. Actually, Edu was part of them. People who we knew they were doing their gardens every year, and also that are involved in different local initiatives and about related with seeds and with urban gardening and so. So after that, we just thought, let's share this idea with more people in Amsterdam, and let's see. Yeah. And people just got super enthusiastic, So I think it was easy because they did the idea grow organically, no?
Yes, yeah. So have you heard back from people who've picked up seedlings and grown things? Maybe it's a bit early yet for results, but...
Not really. Like
No.
the pretty amazing thing of the project is that the people took a lot of initiative on that.
Yeah.
And then you have the Facebook group, which is super active. Like daily, you have a lot of people just exchanging. Like, I have 20 tomato plants. Who want to change it for this aubergine? Who want to change
That's
for this
fantastic.
vegetable? And we are not much doing work on that. There's like
Yeah, it's
the
just
community itself is like exchanging
Wonderful.
within them. So it's the whole concept of seed exchange and seed exchange is taking the software online, and it's working pretty well.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great.
It just seems that there is a need. So you've just tapped into a need for people. They seem to be waiting for something like this to share, which is really great.
Yeah, I would say that actually, like this has been happening already, for a while. There are already initiatives doing some kind of seedlings and also seeds exchange. Like we can tell a bit more later. But yeah, I think, as you say, this responds to a total need. And in particular with the situation we are living now. I think there's another clear sign that something needs to change. We have to do things differently and forget about competing and collaborating more. Also doing things in a different way, because there are clear signs that what we do is wrong. So let's try to do it in a different way. So people are happy.
Yeah. So your exchange happened pretty much in the middle of lockdown.
Totally.
I guess you had to think on your feet because you had the event planned before all of that kicked in. So was that particularly hard, or did it lend itself almost to the changes? How was it?
Yeah, I would say that most of the meetings we had, we always a bit concerned about, if there's a lot of people going to one of the checkpoints, it can be complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But as we said, there were 18 different points. And most of them were urban gardens, like community gardens or different spaces, which is an open space.
Yeah.
And we're also asking people to go there, leave your seedlings, chat for a couple of minutes and leave.
And
Could be great to create a big event centralized in one place, but that was also the beauty of the project. So there was not much issues regarding that.
Fantastic. Yeah, great. And hopefully maybe next year or in years to come, those pickup points could be a bit more social, but
even sooner than
fingers
next
crossed.
year.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll come on to future plans in a little while.
And on the other hand, it's pretty good timing with the lockdown, because people are spending a lot of time at home, more time than they had before. So perhaps they can tend to plants a bit more, or they're looking at their balconies or their gardens a bit more and thinking, what can I do with it? But also there's some anxiety around, and I think people have said that gardening can really help with that as well. Do you talk to anyone about those kind of things?
Yeah, well, actually, people were really appreciating the idea of being able to start a garden, maybe there are many different situations, but there are people who have children, and actually gardening is a very educational activity and is a great way to learn more about the rhythms of nature, a great way to know more about what it takes to grow a tomato, for instance, and actually it's a great way to be away from our screens. We have been all these months just stuck to a laptop or a
Netflix.
mobile phone, or Zoom. Many video calls. So I think it was important to just tell everybody, hey, this is you can start easily. And actually, this is an activity that you can enjoy, If you do,
brings nature to your doorstep, literally. Yeah.
And what's really great about this event is that you're gardeners and growing things, and it just seems to be a natural thing. I have some plants as well, and I have an overflow, a surplus, way too many potatoes for the space. So I do want to give them away. And it's you've organised this event. You don't want to make money or promote your business. It's purely just to share. And that's a great principle. Amsterdam has got that kind of tradition of the sharing economy, but this is a great example of that.
Yeah, I would say it's all about comments and community. Basically, for what you're saying now, what if you're planting more than 100 seeds of whatever, then you don't have enough space for planting all of them. So it's all about this. And I think it's all about, there's a huge issue that I think we don't have time to discuss today, but patents on seeds and patents on life and intellectual property, which is actually exchanging seeds, somehow it can be illegal, which is kind of ridiculous. So it's very nice also encourage people to grow your own seeds and exchange your own seeds with your community, with your neighbors. And that's also what we were trying to do to create this sense of community within your neighborhood.
Yeah, and actually, I would say, besides from what Edo mentioned, that it's not only about sharing. No, of course, like sharing is, but also we were thinking. I remember like Toby, who works with Edu, that mentioned about reciprocating. Also, like we expect people actually at some point like to pick up the seeds from the most beautiful, the healthiest plants they have at home, so that they can actually share those seeds. In a seed exchange. Yeah,
very altruistic. Not to give away the weaker plants that they don't want, but actually you want the strong ones they're the ones you want to pick out and develop and grow.
We should. Well, firstly, I feel really bad because the last time I gave away seeds, I didn't give them away. I was selling them on King's Day. So I was being capitalistic, trying to get some money. I should have just given them away. But the other thing as well, could you explain briefly the way in which seeds can be swapping seeds can be illegal? Because some people might not understand why that is.
Yeah, sure. So basically, there's a European Patent Office. We're talking about European context. Yeah, there's like different international organizations on seeds, but there's this, like, for me, silly exercise of patenting on life, which basically means big companies putting patents on seeds because they create an hybrid normally, or they create the GMO, so taking gene from one seed and bring it to another seed, and then they patent it. And that's like basically patenting the knowledge of farmers of years and years and years. So at some point in history, it became illegal to exchange some seed if this seed is patented, and it's kind of difficult sometimes to realize or know which seeds are patented or not. Yeah. So anyways, at some point, it's if we want to keep exchanging seeds, you have to be really aware. If you do it in a small amount, it might be not that complex, but for farmers, it can be like a big issue.
It's really big business.
So from the seed activists, from food activism, we always encourage people to exchange seeds and exchange seedlings, because that's the best way of like exchanging biodiversity and exchanging this knowledge. We could go deeper on this, because then it's not only on European level, then every country have their own national rules on patents, and not only in seeds, also in the process of preparing food, etc., etc. We could do another podcast on that.
Yeah, because it's so the plants and the seedlings that you are giving away and swapping on the 16th of May, they've got another life after that. And so, for example, someone who may have picked up a free seedling and didn't give anything back, they can keep that plant and then hopefully save some seeds, and then they could give back later, maybe next year or something in some way. The circle of life goes on.
Yes.
So on a slightly more facetious level, what is the exchange rate between tomato plants and I don't know, some herbs or something? What would be a reasonable swap?
Well, actually, it was fun that people actually were surprised that they could just take plants without leaving anything. No, you can take them. No, but people were actually sharing every different kind of things. Like some people brought seeds, not seedlings, but also some people brought homemade compost. So actually it was a very open and flexible space.
Wow.
So there wasn't, of course, there wasn't a
it's just down to everyone to figure it out. Yeah, but that's the fun, I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
That's so cool. Compost must be high value.
Yes. It's quite, imagine explaining that. What have you got in your bag? Like just a whole load of worm compost,
Podcast Amsterdam.
Hello, you're back on the Amsterdam Kitchen. We've got Edu and Rafa from the Farmsterdammers, and they've got a surprise for Gilly.
Yeah, I'm so thrilled with this. So you've brought along a box with 6 seedlings in. 3 I recognise straight away as tomato plants. 1 you said was a brassica of some sort, you're not sure. And the other 2, remind me, what were they?
Swiss chard.
Swiss chard, yes.
Yes.
Lovely. And they're all wrapped in newspaper, which of course is a very environmentally friendly way to establish seedlings. I'm not a gardener, I have to say, but that's one thing I do know.
But why are you getting the seedlings and not me?
Well, we can talk about it, Kathy. But I've just moved in to a new place. I don't have a garden, but I do have I've got one larger terrace and then a little balcony, both on the sunny side. So I know that the tomatoes are going to thrive there completely. But tell me, what should I do with the chard and the brassica? Where are they suited to grow?
They don't need much sun, neither much warm as the tomato plants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Tomato plants can struggle quite a lot outside. Just to let you know, like it's still pretty cold at night, but yeah, like none of them neither. Like I'm not really sure what kind of recycling it is. I'm not even sure if it's Spitz called or you say Romanesco maybe.
Oh yes,
but yeah, they don't need much water. Neither does Nivit. But they don't need good soil. I think they have already.
Yeah, they look really strong and healthy.
If your balcony is in the sunny side, that's going to be okay.
Yeah, great. well, I shall report back. I shall tend them with lots of love and care.
So on Gilly's roof terrace in Amsterdam South. But the nice thing about the 16th of May event was that you had pickup locations all over Amsterdam, which is great because wherever you're based, you were trying to gather that community of local farmers, or not even farmers, just residents. We can all be farmers. Yeah, could you give us examples of how you got those locations all across the city?
Well, actually, we thought that this could be the best way to approach the situation with Corona. No, we didn't want, of course, like too many people gathering in the same space at the same time. And actually, this invited people to suggest pickup points. No, we asked the community like, where would you like to do these these swappings? No, so people were suggesting the spots. They decided also the times where they could be. The plants would be there, and it was just contacting them via social media. At some point, I also organized my own seed swap before, like in advance, no, and I managed to know like 15 or 16 different people who actually were interested in participating or collaborating from the beginning. So they actually started like sharing the drop off and pickup points, no, at that point.
Yeah.
Now, although you're experienced gardeners and farmers, did you yourselves pick up anything new discovery or something that delighted you on that day?
I was in a pickup point in the Mahatma Gandhi plantstone, which is next to the artist, and there was a Spanish girl who came with pimientos del padrón, which is like kind of like really tasty. They can be a bit spicy as well. Yeah. And I was really surprised because I'm also growing some of them. So we exchanged pimientos del padrón from different regions of Spain. So that was lovely.
In Amsterdam, brilliant.
Yes.
And you can grow them here. It's conditions are okay. Well, not ideal,
they probably
but
need more sun. I mean, if you have a greenhouse or like small, if they're inside the house or behind the window, it's okay. Outside, they can struggle a bit. Same as tomatoes, but it's getting very warm lately, as we know.
Yes, I saw. So, I mean, I know it's only this week. This week coming, but I know we're up to 30 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
So get the plants out now, but don't forget to water them. Did you pick up anything good, Rafa?
So it's funny actually when Edu was saying about pimientos del padrón. In my case, it was chili peppers, and it was actually a friend of us, Sandra and Soja brought them, and we were a pickup point at Hoofdplein, and there were like a bunch of 10 or 12 people who brought plants there, but the chili peppers were the ones that I were really expecting. I was really expecting. So,
So it's obviously you're both from Spain, where it is generally much hotter and drier than here, but you've been here a few years now, so you've obviously learnt how to adapt more to the Amsterdam climate. What has worked well that you've been able to kind of keep with you, if you like, and what have you done for the first time since moving here, and you're really pleased with, or you didn't think you would be ever grow, but you have, and it's worked well?
I think like there's totally different mindset when it comes about water and humidity here. I've been struggling a lot, not only with my vegetables, but also with my ornamental plants inside the house, because all of them were getting moldy, and all of them were getting very humid, which normally in Spain it's totally the opposite. You need to overwater them. Yeah. And so this is more like the inside plants. And at the farm where I work at Pluk, it's also here we use a lot of mulch, for instance. But to keep the moisture, but you have to be aware of that, because mulch is like normally you put straw on the beds because you want to keep moisture, you want to keep the weeds down, etc., etc. But you have to be aware of not putting too much, because then it gets too humid. Yeah. In Spain, it's the opposite. You want to put a lot of mulch to keep a lot of moisture and water in the soil. So it's these kind of things that. So
that's been a learning curve for you too.
Yes, depending on the country. And then, of course, like growing a lot of local variety from here that we don't grow in Spain. That's also what.
Yeah,
matters.
so which has presumably meant that your cooking has also adapted. Your
Ended, yeah.
yeah.
I just wanted. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that actually the fact that we are two Spanish guys is only a coincidence. No?
Yes.
We started this local initiative, and actually like many women have been involved, and I would say that actually the majority. And we just happen to be here speaking about it because we managed to. But yeah, actually I had the same experience. No, like I had been growing in the past for like 15 years and urban gardening and also like some organic farming project. But when I arrived here, like Anne Doherty, we both know her, and I want to say thanks because she like really helped during the creation of the idea and working later. But she works at City Plot, and when I first did a workshop with them, they focus on urban gardening and they give like a support and advice. She told me, well, it doesn't matter that you have been growing vegetables for 10 years in Spain. You are a total beginner.
Yeah.
And that was when I learned about slugs and about all different...
Slugs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But well, just wanted to mention about it. It's total beginner.
I love that humbling.
It's funny, isn't it? Because, I mean, of course, we're all in Europe, but yeah, there are massive regional differences in what grows well.
And shout out to the ladies at City Plot, good friends of ours at Broadcast Amsterdam.
Yes.
Great. So, yeah, and it's a great website, farmsterdammers.com, farmsterdammers.com, and good map and stuff. Helps that you're a web designer, Rafa. But there's plenty as well of advice there for the smallest of gardeners if you just want to do a pot or your balcony or something like that, which is really good. And I imagine you'll have more stories to share to come. What have you got planned next?
Well, I think we're still in the process of deciding what's next, but as Rafa mentioned before, the idea is not only organizing one event, the idea is like people like exchanging seedlings and then keeping the seeds, and then the next event probably exchanging the seeds that you save from your plants, etc. But Rafa just shared with me a great idea, which is what if at the end of the summer we organize like a sharing your best vegetables. So we're going to harvest all the vegetables at the end of the summer, probably August, September, and then maybe we can organize another Farmsterdammers.
Yeah, wonderful.
With a big potluck or with a big event, and also exchanging seeds and seedlings for the fall, winter season, but also exchanging food. So that's one idea. And then also we were saying to link it. Well, I've been involved with A-Seed for already 3 years ago, and we organized Reclaim the Seeds. So one of the concepts and things we have in mind is also to link it with Reclaim the Seeds, with this big fair of exchanging seeds and seedlings. So that's the different project we have in mind. I don't know if you want to add something, Rafa.
Not really. I mean, I would love having dinner with a good bunch of people in Fonder Park, for instance, all together with the vegetables. But I think it's also good to mention that the interesting is that some people outside of Amsterdam are contacting, saying, hey, we would love to bring this to our city, you know, and I'm speaking about people in different cities in Europe, and that's super encouraging, to think that, there could be something similar going on in other places. Of course, this still needs to be a local initiative, but it can be local in so many places that it would be nice to think that we can manage to do that, or people can manage to create community in their local areas. And hopefully we can create a network later on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like dreaming.
Yeah, you got to think big. Why not? That's fantastic.
Sure.
And that's, so Reclaim the Seeds is a big event that happens every year, but it got cancelled this year. But that's a great one to look forward to and do more with. Oh, I look forward to this. People love to share pictures of what they've grown. That's what I like about your Facebook group, the Farmsterdammers Facebook group, is that people are sharing those photos. They're looking so healthy, these plants. It's inspiring.
Well, I was going to say, but is it also a bit intimidating if everyone's doing so well? Is anyone sharing stories where things haven't gone quite so well? Maybe looking for advice.
Probably they don't share what it's not succeeding.
No. I can share a few, actually.
I'm just asked because I know that person would be me.
I've got a few examples. And it's also, you're right as well, because it's important to harvest the food that you grow. I've just got a lot of rocket that was doing really well, and I haven't harvested it quick enough, and now it's going to seed, and I'm not sure then if that's a good thing or a bad thing or what. I should have eaten it quicker.
No, you can keep the seeds.
That's true. That's true.
It's a
Yeah.
possibility.
So there you are. We should harvest our food, but good luck to all of those who picked up plants and seedlings on the 16th of May. I hope they're doing well, and we look forward to maybe seeing pictures of them back at the end of the season when these plants are healthy and we're eating them.
Yes, do keep us posted on any future swaps and events and things.
So a reminder for our listeners, if you were inspired by Edu and Rafa and all the people that were involved in the Farmsterdammer project, it's farmsterdammers.com. Sometimes, is it true that you might change to using a double M at the end?
For sure, and we must do that. I think people have spoken, so we are going to do that because, I mean, there was a conversation going on actually at the beginning before buying and creating the website, buying the domain, let's say. And actually, with some English-speaking people, we agreed in the end that 1M was okay, no? Like it wasn't 100% correct, but
There's
it
no
can work.
hard and fast rule. No.
But it doesn't work at all in Dutch. So because it's a local initiative, actually we think we should follow what people tell. And the other thing is that the .com, again, it was because everything happened so quick that we didn't notice, but .com, we are not any company. We're not a company, no? So at some point we will have the .org also, or something different. That
I see. Yeah.
So it's everything building itself, and with the support of the whole community. I mean, they are the ones like suggesting and so that's lovely. As you say, seeing the messages and seeing how people react, interact, and support each other is just.
Okay, that's funny. So for now, it's farmsterdammers.com. May change, but I'm sure they'll be forwarding and everything like that. And then you've got the Facebook group as well. Thanks for joining us on the show, Edu and Rafa.
Thank you.
It's really good, and for coming up with this event for the whole of the city. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Amsterdam Kitchen. Join us live on Saturday mornings
From 10 till 12.
on Broadcast Amsterdam.
We'll catch up later.
It's all online.
Broadcast Amsterdam, your local radio station, 24/7 and on demand. Or on broadcastamsterdam.nl.